I think the film is, kind of got a multi-generational appeal. Um, and I think the characters in the film are very endearing, and the film has a lot of humor, and it's got this incredible soundtrack, and it's very exciting. And there's a big problem, and then we go about solving it, and it just feels like you want these characters to win, and I just think it's just generally appealing because of that. It works. I've been waiting to work on the sequel for the last 4 or 5 years. Yes. I just love working with Garth. He's just a brilliant creative mind, and so generous of spirit, and so emotionally available and enthusiastic, and man, he just thinks outside of the box. He's just got just a delicious brain, and I was excited to play with him again. It's just really, he's a wonderful collaborator. I think she, Ash in the first Sing really, she's got this kind of relationship that's sort of holding her back, and she's not yet kind of found her own voice. She's sort of living in the shadow of her boyfriend, who's kind of a jerk. And when she finally gets enough confidence to shed him, she sort of realizes that she's, I think, deserves a seat at the table. And it's a really very inspiring journey to watch her come to that place. And in this film, she uses that experience to help another character rediscover their voice and find their footing again after a huge loss. And I think that's a very admirable act. I don't know. I think they both have a love of music, and that's what sort of they both, I think, recognize in the other person a true artist, and they have a mutual respect for one another because of that. I think when Ash speaks to Clay, she really, he understands that she gets him, she gets his music, and it opens the door a little bit because he's so guarded. She kind of gets her foot in a little bit that way. Yeah, it's interesting because it kind of, the song is sort of reinterpreted in this film, and it takes on a different kind of meaning, I think. The Clay character is grieving, and hasn't really been able to kind of take the next step. He's stuck. He's stuck in his grief, and can't see the future, I think, without his beloved wife by his side. He just doesn't know what life could be, this new chapter is going to be like for himself. And I think it's very, it's sort of perfect, a perfect song. The words kind of take on a different kind of meaning this time around. It's I think more about the kind of overcoming a fear, and overcoming just I think a devastating loss, and how do you go on. It's about a different kind of change, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's my 13-year-old dream come true is singing a duet with Bono. I never in a million years would have ever thought I would be at least singing a duet with Bono that any other person would hear. Maybe in like a bar at 4 a.m. with Bono makes sense to me, but the fact that we're on a soundtrack is crazy. And then yesterday he told me he played it for the band, and my mind was kind of blown at that. Yeah, I mean, I love Stuck in a Moment. It's been one of my favorite songs from, you know, like high school and before, and I just, yeah, it's very surreal.